Let me wait for other participants. Meanwhile, let me do some drawings here. Please mute your mic, students. Please mute your mic. Let me. Yeah, let me see the students. Yeah, I have a good count. Yeah, so this is my first activity. And this is my second activity, right? So we have discussed about first activity and the design and the Java code. Now let us move to the second activity, right? So let us move to the design of the second activity as a code of design. Yeah. You see that that's what I said. Everything is a text view, right? So everything is a text view. So I see that everything is a text view. Let me match the exact color coding. You see that XML data, right? See here, I'm having XML data. XML data. And what is this? There's nothing but it's a text view. You see that text view is a text view. Okay, text view. What I'm having? XML data. That's what it maps. It's mapping to this XML data. Is it right? Next, you see that I'm having parsing XML and JSON data. It is a heading. What is this heading? That's what heading is. What is heading? There's nothing but a text view. It's nothing but a text view. And that's what I said here, right? It's a text view. So everything is a text view here. Okay. So let me erase this. Let me erase all this stuff. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll down. Yeah. Yeah. Let me pick. You see that here I'm having XML data. You see that XML data label. Okay, what is this XML data? That's what I said. This is my XML data. And what is this? This nothing but a text view. It's a text view. Okay. And next you see that I'm having JSON data. And what is this JSON data? You'll see that here I have this JSON data. And what is this? This is a text view. This is a text view. Is it right, students? Now let me clear. So let me clear my drawings. Yeah, text view. Scroll down. Yeah. Let me change my color pen. Yeah, here you can see that I'm having a JSON data. JSON data. So what is JSON data? It's mapping to this. It's mapping to this. Okay. And what is this? It's nothing but is a text view. It's nothing but is a text view. And that's what I said. Everything is a text view. Everything is a text view. Is it right, students? Yeah, fine. Now, here the most important thing you should observe here is, let me clear my drawing. See where I'm trying to display the results, students, where I'm trying to display, and that's what I said, right? Where I'm trying to display the result, I'm trying to display the result at this point here. I will remove this XML data. I'm going to display the result. Similarly, I'll remove this JSON data. I'll display result here. So therefore, the ID of this button is very, very important. You should know the ID of this label. You should know the ID of this. You should know the ID of this text view. And similarly, you should know the ID of this text view. Why? Because here we're going to display the data. And you see that they're given the ID for this JSON data. They're given this ID, that is LBL. LBL stands for label. LBL. You should use some conventions. LBL stands for label. Comma means it's not comma, underscore JSON data. Actually, this is something you need to make it out as a programmer. This is some of the tricks of writing a label names. You see that label is one word, JSON is second word, data is third word. Each and every word can be separated with underscore. It's the best practice of writing an ID value. When your ID is having more than one word, all these words can be separated with underscore, right? So that's why they picked the name like this here. Okay, it's the best practice which you need to follow. Okay, so the label name is very, very important. You need to remember. Okay, this label, this ID represents this. This ID represents this. Okay, and similarly, you should know the ID of this. Okay, similarly, you should know ID of this XML data. And what is the ID of this? Let us scroll up. Above it is there. Yeah, see that. So this is my XML data, right? This XML, it is representing this. And what's the ID of this? The same thing. See that? Yeah, they've used the same convention. LBL stands for label underscore XML underscore data. Okay, so this text view can be represented with this ID. Similarly, this text view will represent this text view. This text view can be represented with the ID called LBL underscore JSON underscore data. Only one difference here is, what's the one difference? There's one difference with label name. Here we have XML. Here we have XML. Here it has JSON. Okay, by seeing this name, we should identify whether you're referring to XML or JSON. Okay, now let me clear my drawings. Yeah, let me clear it. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Now that's what a design all about. This is the design of all about. Now let us move to the corresponding Java code. Okay, so this is a design of an XML document which you have seen. Now let us move to the corresponding Java code. And what is this Java code here all about? And what is this Java code all about, students? See, when I click this XML document, I should move to the second activity. And we have seen how to move to the second activity. How to move from activity 1 to activity 2. In not to move from activity 1 to activity 2, I need to create an intent. So along with intent, what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to pass an additional value, that is mode value. I'm trying to pass a mode value. And what's the mode value I'm trying to pass? I'm trying to pass a mode value called 2 if I'm clicking an XML document. The same thing if I'm trying to click a JSON, I'm trying to pass a mode value called 1, right? But here, I'm trying to pass a mode value called 2. Now here you see that from activity 1 to activity 2, what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to pass a mode value called 2. Now I need to extract this mode value in activity 2. In activity 2, the mode value I need to extract. So how to extract a mode value in activity 2? In order to extract a mode value, we need to use a method called getIntent. GetIntentExtra. GetIntentExtra means here you see that I'm trying to pass an extra value. How I pass an extra value? I use like this: int dot put extra. I written like this: put extra. I have written intent dot put extra mode comma some 2, like this value I passed. Is it right, students? This statement I written in activity 1. Okay, now this extra value, what I should do? I need to extract in my second activity. How to extract? I should write getIntentExtra. And what is the name? That is mode. And what is here 0? So the 0 indicates is a default value. So let us assume in case I'm not getting any value for this mode. Okay, here I'm passing the mode value as 2. So let us assume that something has happened, the mode value is not received. In case the mode value is not received from activity 1 to activity 2, I'm going to take this default value, that is 0. Okay, it's nothing but it's a default value. See, okay, if here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to pass a mode value called 2. So right now the mode value is 2. In case I have not received a mode value from active1 to activity2, in such a case, I'm going to take this default value. And that's what it is all about. Okay. So it's all about. I know, I hope you understood this. All right. I hope you understood this, students. And this everything what I'm trying to do, this everything what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to store in a variable called mode. And what is the value? Mode is nothing but the value is 2. Okay, 2 is nothing but an integer value. So therefore, you see that I have declared mode as type int. I have declared the mode as type int. Here they initialize the value called 0, but actually it's not required. It is only to initialize this value called 0. It's not required. As you write, students, it's not required. 1 second, students, I'm making a call. Now, is it fine, students? Actually, this value equal to 0 is not required. And just you can declare it. But if you initialize also, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong if you do it. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Now here, I think.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
In that mode, sir, mode comma 0, that comma 0 is mandatory, or comma 0 we can just take it off, sir?
No, you should not take it off. It is mandatory because the function or the method get extra is expecting 2 arguments. The first argument is name of the mode and the second argument is default value. It's mandatory. Okay. So this method is expecting 2 arguments. So that's why here you pass 2 arguments. The first argument is an integer, first argument is a string. The second argument is a default value. Yeah, fine. You got it? Is it fine?
Yes,
yeah, that's good. Now, so these are designed, right, students? These are designed, right? So now I need to refer to this. I need to refer to this. I need to refer to this. How to refer to this? I should not refer. I need to refer with an ID. And what's the ID? And we have discussed LBL underscore XML underscore data is referring to this, right? So that's why I find new by ID. And this everything I've stored in a variable called LBL XML data. What is this? Is a text view. So therefore, I'm trying to typecast to text view. And the type of this variable is nothing but is a text view. You see that LBL XML data and the type is a text view. And similarly, you see that I'm having LBL underscore JSON underscore data. It is referring to this text view. Okay. And find view by ID. I'm trying to typecast to text view. And the result I'm trying to store in a variable. And the type of this variable also is a text view. Right. So why I'm trying to access this? Because at this here I'm going to display the result. So therefore I'm trying to access these 2 text view inside my Java code. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me clear my drawings. Let me clear all my drawings. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll be writing a code. Okay. See that. If mode equal to 1. If mode equal to 1, what you discuss? If mode equal to 1, what I should do? I need to parse a JSON file. If mode equal to 2, that's what you see. That. Let me scroll down. It's overlapping. Yeah. Let me clear my drawing. Yeah. You see the students. If mode equal to 1, I need to parse a JSON file, right? If mode equal to, with respect to XML, the mode is 2. If mode equal to means else. Else means I should parse XML document. The most important thing, students, parse JSON, parse XML document are user-defined methods. Both these are user-defined methods, means it is user who has defined these methods. Okay, it can be any name of your choice, but when you're trying to pick the name of the method, you should always pick meaningful names. So here I pick the method name as parse JSON. There is an user-defined method. That's very, very important. It is not an inbuilt method. Similarly, parse XML document. It is an user-defined method. It is not an inbuilt method. Okay. So it's up to you however you want to specify this name of the method. Okay. Now let us move to this. So I'm interested towards this XML document. Okay. I'm interested towards this XML document. So now let us see how to pass this XML document. So if the mode value is 2, I'm going to call this function, that is parse XML document. And as you see that I have written a function called public string parse XML document. I have written a function called parse string XML document. Okay, so once I call this function, the control jumps inside this. So inside this, what's the first statement I'm trying to execute? So this is the first statement I'm trying to execute. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to open an XML file. I'm trying to open an XML file. What is this input.xml file? That's what it is. I think you should know how to create this XML file. Let me erase it. Now, what is my XML file? So this, I think this is my XML file. I think you can see that. Okay, this is my XML file. And what is the name of my XML file? The name of my XML file is nothing but is input. This input.xml. This is my file. This is my XML file. And what is the name of this XML file? It's nothing but is input.xml file. And this XML file, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to open. Why I'm trying to open? In order to pass this XML document. In other words, I need to extract this data. In order to extract this data, what I should do? Step one, I need to open this file. So that's what we are seeing right now. Okay. So that's what I've done. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to open this file. Okay. I'm trying to, one second. I'm trying to open this file. Okay, I'm trying to open this file. Now this input.xml will be present in a folder called assets that I'll discuss. Let me clear all my drawings. That's quite simple, students. Let me clear my drawings. Okay, you see that here they have done get assets dot open. What is get assets means this input.xml. Okay, there will be a folder called in the left side. In your left side, there will be a folder called assets. There will be a folder called assets. A folder called assets. And inside this assets, inside the folder called assets, there will be a file called input.xml. Input.xml. There will be a file called input.xml. So when writing get assets means in assets, get asset means I'm referring to this folder. In assets, I want to open, which file I want to open? I want to open a file called input.xml. And that's what the statement says that. Okay, get assets means in the folder called assets, I want to open a file called, which file? Input.xml. Okay. Similarly, we have one more file, this JSON file, that is input.json. Input.json. These two files will be present inside this assets. Okay, how to create these two files we'll see now. Okay, how to create this input.xml file. Okay, let us see now. Let me clear my drawings. Okay, let me scroll to page number 27. Page number 27. Okay, let me zoom this. Now, step one, what I should do, I need to create an assets folder. I need to create an asset folder. That's what I said. Okay, what we need to do, we need to create an asset folder. Okay, we need to create an asset folder. Why I need to create an asset folder? Because inside this asset, what I should do, I need to place a file called inside I need to place a file called input.xml. So therefore, we need to create an asset folder. How to create? Click on this app. You see that there's an app. On this app, you try to right click. Okay, when you right click, you'll get a new. Okay, from this new, you click here. It'll take you you'll get one more drop down list. And this drop down list, you should move to the folder. And you click this folder. Once you click this folder, you'll get asset folder. Just you click on this. So once you click on this, I hope you understood, right? First, you need to right click on the app. When you right click on the app, it will take you to one more drop down list. In the second drop down list, you need to click new. So once you click new, you'll get one more drop down list. In that, you need to click folder. Okay, once you click this folder, you'll get an asset folder. Once you get this asset folder, you need to click on this. So once you click on this, what's going to happen? Let me clear the drawings. So once you click this, you'll get a page something like that. Let me minimize that. Students, let me minimize this. Yeah. Once you click on this, okay, that's once you click on this, a second, this new page will be created. Only one thing you have to do is not to do any changes. Don't do any changes. Just you click on finish button. Once you click on finish button, automatically an asset folder will be created. Automatically an asset. Automatically an asset folder will be created. Okay, so how I can know that asset folder has been created? And you can see here, let me zoom 1 second. You see that here, student, an asset folder, something will be created here. See that under this app only, you can find a folder called assets. Okay, an asset folder will be created. Is it right? Okay, once an asset folder is created, what we should do, students, inside this asset folder, I need to place a file. What place I need to fail? I need to place a file called input.xml. Okay, I need to place a file called input.xml. So in order to do that, what I should do it? Let me clear my drawings. Let me minimize this. Yeah, next. So in order to do it, that's quite simple. So once I got an asset folder, what I should do? You're in asset folder. Okay, right click on this asset folder. Once you right click on this asset folder, it will take you to a drop down list. In this drop down list, you try to click new. So once you click this new, you'll have one more drop down list. In one more drop down list, you need to click file. You need to click file. So once you click file, what's going to happen? You'll get one box, something like this. Once you click file, you'll get a box, something like this, like box. Okay, in this box, you need to mention the name of the file. So here you should mention the file called input. Mention the file called input.xml, right? Input.xml. So once you press, after entering the input.xml, press enter. Press enter. So once you press enter, a new file will be created. Once you press enter, a new file will be created. In this new file, what you have to do is XML code you need to copy. Okay, in this new file, what I should do, you need to copy this entire XML code. I think I've done. You have any questions, you can ask. How to create this folder? Yeah, you have any questions, students? Okay, no questions. That's well and good, right? And similarly, same thing. Suppose I want to create a JSON file. For a JSON file, again, the same thing, same procedure. But instead of writing input.xml, I write input.json. Right, input.json. The code of JSON we'll discuss later. Okay. A similar fashion, you need to create it. There's no difference. Okay, fine. So let me scroll down the code. Yeah, fine. Parsing XML document is very good, and you need to understand this. Okay. Now you see that. So that's what I said. In assets folder, I want to open a file called input.xml. Okay. So once you try to open this file, I'm going to create an input string. Okay, for this file, for this XML file, I'm going to create some input string, that is is. So is is a variable which is referring to this XML file. Okay. So now what I should do, I need not to pass this XML document, what I should do, this entire XML document, I need to convert to DOM. This entire XML file, I need to convert to DOM. DOM stands for Document Object Model. And this you'll be studying in your 7th semester with respect to web programming. Okay. This entire XML document, what I should do, I need to convert to DOM. DOM stands for Document Object Model. Means this entire XML document, you're going to convert in terms of objects. This entire XML document, you're going to consider this as an objects. And we call these objects as a node. And all these terminologies we'll be studying with respect to your web programming. And what I mean to say that here, see, let me clear my drawings. This is very important. You need to understand. This is the most core concept of this. Now, you see the students. What is my root? Place is my root. Place is my root. Very good. Listen very carefully. Under this place, I have a city. I have only one city. Under this city, see, I have root is place. Under this place, I have a city called child. Under this city, what I'm having? I'm having city name. And having latitude, and having longitude. I'm having temperature. And I'm having humidity. Okay. We call this as DOM tree structures. We call this as a tree structure. We call this a document object model tree structure. Okay, that one is not required. So I need to represent this entire XML document in the form of DOM. DOM stands for document object model. Okay, so once you convert into this structure, then only what you can do, you can pass this XML document. In other words, you can extract the values which is present in your XML document. Right now, how to convert this XML document? How to convert this XML document into a DOM structure? In order to do that, what you should do it? You need to create. You need to create a document builder factory. Okay, you need to use a class name called document builder factory. Okay, the students, actually nothing to remember all this stuff. Actually, once you type it, automatically everything will come out. Only one thing you should keep in your mind is, first we need to create a document builder factory object. How to create? You see that document is one word, that's why D is uppercase, builder is second word, B is uppercase, factory is third word, that's why F is in uppercase. Actually, no need to type all this stuff. Once you type in Android Studio, automatically everything will come out. Okay, then it's called dot new instance. Actually, in my laptop, actually it's not supporting, that's why I have not done. So once you create this, I'm going to create an object called document factory object. And what's the type of this? The type of this, I think, that is document builder factory. Okay, next, using this object called db factory, that is document builder factory, I need to call one more method called new document builder. So this is going to return an object called document builder. It's going to return an object called document builder. And the name of this object is nothing but is D builder. You see the students, everything which I put in circle is an user defined name. The object names can be any name of your choice, but what I've done, you see that I've written DB factory. DB stands for, it is document builder factory. It's a variable name. DB factory is a variable name. Here also D builder is a variable name. It can be any name. Here I've used D builder. D stands for document. So that's why I use document builder object. Now, once you got this document builder object, next you need to call a method called parse. Inside this method called parse, what I need to do, I need to pass this input stream. I need to pass this input stream object. So once you pass this input stream object, this entire XML document will going to convert to an DOM, document object model. This everything I'm going to store in a variable called doc, and the type of doc is standing by is document. Type of doc is document. Is it right, students? It is document. Have you understood this? Have any questions? You can ask me. Okay. Now one more thing. All this stuff is not required. They written this, it's not required. You can avoid this stuff. Okay. Now you see that. Now what is my document? My document is nothing but what my document contains. Let me clear my drawings. Is the most core part which you need to understand. It's not tough, it's quite easy. You have to make it out. Yeah, you see that. No, I'll be writing here, you see that. So what's my document? This is my complete document, right? This is my complete XML document. Right? You see that. This doc represents complete XML document. Now, inside this XML document, I want to refer to an element which is having a tag name called city name. Actually, I said that a city underscore name, latitude, longitude, everything we're going to call it as a tag name. You see that here written doc. Actually, the statements are not required. It's not required. Okay, it's not required. You see that inside my document, inside my document, I want to get element which is having elements which is having a tag name called employee. Okay, see, we call city name, latitude, longitude, everything together we call as an element. We call, actually there is some terminologies which you should know. Okay, see, 1 second, students, 1 second. Let me make it clear so that you should not by heart this code. That's my intention. See, this is some of the, we call this as element. We call this as element. Everything we call this an element. This an element. This an element. Everything we call an element. We call this together. We call it as an element. Okay. Each element will have a name. Each element will have a name. And what's the element of this? What's the name of this element? It is city name. Okay. The name of this element is a city name. And we call the city name as tag name. We call this city name as tag name. Okay. And the same thing here they've used it. Okay. That you should not by heart it. That's my intention. Okay. That's what it says. In my document, I want to get element. Which element you want to get? I want to get an element which is having, I want to get an element which is having a tag name called employee. Okay. So inside my document, I have an element which is having a tag name called employee. I don't have, but here I've written a city, right? In case you've written city here, you need to replace this employee with city. Okay, actually I've changed the original XML document, right? I said you should not use employee. Employee is not a meaningful tag name. I've changed from employee to city, right? See, student, it has to match. And that's what one of your friends has asked. It is case sensitive. Yes, it is case sensitive. So that's why when you're trying to write the program, right? When trying to do cut, copy and paste. What is city? The same name you should write here inside this double quotes. Okay. Okay, inside my document, I want to get element which is having a tag name called city. It's not employee. With respect to my XML document, it is city. City. I want to get it. Okay, it is there. If it is there, I'm going to extract this. I'm going to extract this XML document, and this entire XML document I'm going to place in a variable called list, and the type of this thing is node list. And that's what I said. What is this node list? This entire XML document is represented in the form of a tree structure. And that's what you're seeing. This entire XML document can be represented in the form of a tree structure. When you're trying to represent the form of a tree structure, that is DOM model, every node, everything we called as a node. Okay, every element we are going to call as a node. Okay, that's why they use here node list. Why call this node list? What is the list, students? A list is nothing but we can have more than one element. Now, with respect to my XML document, I'm having only one element. I'm having only one element, which is having a tag name called city, right? So now what's going to happen? This entire city, probably you might have studied Python. Okay, Python. What is a list? List is a collection of items. Okay, so inside my list, I'll be having a city. I'll having an element called city. How many elements I'm having? I'll be having only one element. Okay, and what is the name of this list? Actually, everything has been placed together. The name of this list is nothing but is n list. The name of this list is nothing but is n list. And what's the type of this? The type of this nothing but is node list. A list contains more than one element, but with respect to my program, I'll be having only one element, and the name of this one element is nothing but is city. I'll be having only one element, that is city. In this list, I'll be having a city, right? Next, I've written a for loop for I equals 0, I less than n list dot get length. So what is the length? Length is nothing but I'm trying to count how many items are present in this list. In this list, how many items are there? Only one item. So the entire value of this get length will be 1. Okay, I'm trying to compute the length of this list. What's the length? It is 1. So I'm going to go here, n list dot item of I. What is the value of I? Initially, I value is 0. Okay, so the list begins with 0. Okay, when writing n list item of I means I'm accessing this element called city. I'm trying to access the element called city. Actually, all this is not required, but anyhow, fine. Okay. I'm going to access this item. Okay, now this everything, this everything represents this city. This everything represents this city. Okay, and this city, what I'm trying to store in a variable called node, and the type of this node is nothing but is node. See, that's what I said with respect to DOM. With respect to DOM, they're going to represent the entire XML document in the form of a tree structure. We're going to represent the entire XML document in the form of a tree structure. Okay. Now every element, so every element with respect to DOM, we're going to call it as a node. So that's why here the type is node here. What is city? You see that city. Say city is nothing but you see the city is one of the node in the DOM tree structure. So therefore here the type is nothing but is node. Okay. The type here is nothing but is node. At the students, it looks to be quite, actually I don't have this. And stereo, probably then I would have done a little bit better, but anyhow, fine. 1 second, students. 1 second. Yeah. No, see. See, in your XML document, okay, actually there are several terminologies out there. We call, what is the type of this node? That's what I said. We call this as element. Okay, we call this as element. We call this as element. Okay, and not only that, we call this how to write this place. Under place I have city. Under city I'm having city name. I have city name. I have latitude. I have longitude. So everything we can call it as a node. Everything called as a node. Okay. Now, what is the type of this node? Actually, see, the type of this node. Okay, the type of this node is nothing but it's an element node. We call this as element node. We call this as an element node. Okay, and what's the type of this node? See, everything is a node. Okay, everything is a node. And what's the type of this node? The type of this node is a text node. We call this a text node. We call this a text node. So how we can differentiate is an element node as text node. Anything which you place in angle brackets, we call this as an element node. So anything which you write in plain text, you see that 25, it is a plain text. 90 is a plain text. 30 is a plain text. Bangalore is a plain text. So anything which is a plain text, we call this as a text node. So anything which you write in angle brackets, we call this as an element node. Okay, that's one important thing you need to make it out. So here in the code they are checking. Okay, node dot get node type. I'm checking node dot get node type. So what's the value of node here? So just now we got the value of node is nothing but it's not employee, it is city. Okay. What is the node we got? The node we got here is nothing but is city. Okay, city. And what's the type of this node? The type of this node is nothing but an element node. The type of this node is nothing but an element node. And that's what I'm checking here, whether the type of this node is an element node. If it's an element node, what I should go? I should go inside of this. And then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to convert this node back into an element. I'm trying to convert this node back to an element node. Okay. Now, session. Students, 1 second. Let me do. Students, instead of doing like this, let me do like this, then we can understand. So inside my document, I want to get element. Now, let me do it here. Element, okay. Element by tag name. We want to get an element by tag name called city. Okay, element called tag name called city. Okay, element called tag name called city. Okay, now. So now what I should do is I need to typecast to element. Okay, typecast to element. So why I'm trying to typecast this element is going to return this as a typecast node. Okay, so what I'm doing is node. Second student, 1 second. 1 second. Let me. 1 second. Let me get confused. 1 second. Make it out. Okay, fine. Now, yeah. See, what is this element? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, there in the place of city, we can even use place, or it should be only city, sir.
See, 1 second. See, 1 second, student. Yeah, let me open my. See, see here, you should not use place. No, you should not use place. You should use city. Okay, you should use city. You should use city. I'm referring to this employee. Okay, you should not use place. Okay, you should use city only. You should not use place. Okay, probably you would have added an Android Studio application or illustrated it much better. But you should not use here place. You should use this city.